Update with Money. We're brought to you by the Escalator Funds from Discovery Invest. Discovery is an authorized financial services provider. Robert Foster is head of the Alternative Investment Management Association. Why can't you just call it the Hedge Fund Association?
Well, hedge funds is only part of the association's aims. It's obviously all non-sort of traditional investments, so that includes private equity and the like. In South Africa, it's primarily hedge funds which is represented.
But your company, Alpha Asset Management, where you're from, you guys are kind of right on the edge, options and futures and the kind of area where many people are confused, don't understand it, would believe that it's very high risk and anything but an investment.
Yeah, well, Alpha is a fund of funds, so effectively it's investing into underlying single managers and spreading a fair amount of what people believe to be the risk in the industry amongst a number of underlying managers.
So do you have transparency? Do you know what's in those hedge funds that you're investing in?
Yeah, effectively the South African industry is a completely different industry to what it is globally, in that the vast majority of the managers are reporting both to us and to independent risk managers and to clients on a daily basis what the positions are. So we can, on a very quick look-through basis, see if there's any risk.
When you say it's completely different to other parts of the world?
Well, in most parts of the world, what you've got is regulation. They're starting to talk about regulation of managers. We've been regulated as managers in the hedge fund space for 2 years or so. We're now talking about product regulation, which is something that isn't even being put on the table at the G20 or at any time.
Were you surprised to see that the G20 and our Felicity Duncan was there last week, came out so strongly against hedge funds?
I think it's not surprising. I think there has been quite a lot of talk about hedge funds having a role to play in the financial crisis, although the Turner Review, which came out a short while ago, sort of said the opposite. They said it's a banking crisis and that hedge funds were part of that rather than the cause of the crisis. So it makes perfect sense that regulators who don't have a clear line of sight, and that's the problem with no transparency, are going to try and find causes which they might be able to point a finger at and say that caused the banking crisis, when quite honestly the banking crisis probably caused itself.
You said a little bit earlier that you have also been meeting, you've been meeting with the Financial Services Board to talk about official regulating of hedge funds in South Africa. Kevin Shames, who I think you know very well from your industry, has for years now been saying we want to be regulated as hedge funds. Why is there this drive?
Well, there's two things. AIMA, as an international organization, has been in South Africa for about 5 years. Kevin was the first chairman of that, and there's been another chairman in between before I was elected to the position. Effectively, we are already regulated, but at the manager level. What that means is that we're allowed to manage money that clients ask us to manage in a particular way. If they give us the mandate, we can go and manage it. Being in a regulated environment puts it in a completely different space, similar to other regulated vehicles such as life insurance or unit trusts. Those are both regulated vehicles.
But you haven't managed to get regulated yet.
Well, effectively, we're starting phase 2 of the process of regulation, which is going from the manager regulation to the product. And in doing that, we need to engage with all parties, including the broadest industry representatives. And obviously, our regulator is the FSB.
Robert, is the Financial Services Board behind you? Is it supportive? Are you on the same page?
I think we are. I think we have every time we meet with them, we have very positive engagement. We're moving in the same direction. I think what needs to be said is that effectively we might not know exactly what we want the outcome to be at the moment. So we're road mapping where we want to go, and we're building relationships along the way and making sure that we've got the infrastructure to deliver a result that will result in a regulated product environment with them.
Robert Foster is head of the Alternative Investment Management Association. Sponsored by Goldfields, the complete gold company. Buy growth, buy gold, buy Goldfields. Well, the GFMS Gold Survey was released today. It's the 42nd edition of this annual survey.